He took one look at this friggin' ham planet and just bailed. What's up, adventurers? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, the Green Knight. This is my co-host, Bartholomew. Have you noticed anything different tonight? That's right, I got a professional microphone. I am big boy YouTuber now. Hopefully this makes the sound a little better, because the last lapel mic I had was not extremely great. It was really quiet. So hopefully this thing is way better. And if anything, I'll have to turn the volume down on it instead of up all the time. So that being said, tonight we are diving into r/NeckBeardStories. Bartholomew has pulled up a story for me called A Knight in Shining Denim. So I'm wearing my Canadian tuxedo. Obligatory disclaimer, neckbeards are icky and gross, and they do icky and gross things. So if that makes you uncomfortable, that's okay. If you guys enjoy neckbeard or Reddit content, like RPG horror stories, leave a like and subscribe. Maybe leave a comment about what kind of things you want to see next. If you want to come for me on some of my midnight walks, I try and do that almost every night. I'm not going to do it every single night. I might get a little burnt out doing it all the time. But yeah, come join me on some midnight walks. And without further ado, let's dive on into this r/neckbeards cringe. From user Rookie Raccoon 17, A Knight in Shining Denim, a story of Todd the Celibate. Voluntary or involuntary? Because that makes a difference. Hey everyone, long-time watcher, first-time poster here on this channel. Doesn't say what channel it's posted on. This is just in r/NeckBeardStories. So I assume he probably watches a different neckbeard YouTuber, but I won't hold that against him. Maybe he'll come find my channel. Post is almost a year old, so I've tried writing this story down several times on my own, but each time I feel that my writing skills have lacked, and in my many rough drafts I feel that I have been unable to do justice to this particularly wonderful specimen of a nice guy. I'm not a quitter, though I have enough scars and pins in my body to prove that while I am not the brightest, I am definitely, well, sturdy, I guess. What, like you broke a bunch of bones? You got pins and stuff in there? I got a screw in my right arm because I had to have bicep surgery. So I got a pin in there holding my bicep up. Enough about me, and enough about me. Though I have finally gathered enough source material and scholarly peer-reviewed works to submit my work to the esteemed council of nice guy researchers and scholars. Okay, I guess this was initially posted in r/niceguys. If you want me to cover some more nice guy stories, leave a comment down below. I do plan to get there eventually, because they are very neckbeard adjacent. As you take your seats on this fine evening, please select your finest prelude music as I set the stage and introduce the characters of our show. I do ask that you hold your applause, gasps, cries, and shouts of excitement till we've reached our end, as we wish for the characters to remain focused on their roles. Too bad! I'm gonna comment as we go along. That's kind of my whole shtick. Names have been changed to protect identities. I assume so. The ages of the cast ranges from late teens, 18 or 19, to early 30s. The majority of these stories take place while working at a hospital. No patients will ever be mentioned, no company, no name of hospital, state, or city will be mentioned to protect the privacy and avoid any issues. The cast. Steve. Friendly, angry giant. Well, that kind of juxtaposes itself in one sentence. From the land down under. Alright, I'm gonna have to do a terrible Australian accent. Standing at 6'3", 350 pounds of muscle, he's truly a giant to behold and one of my best friends. He has good art, but has a skill set matching Liam Neeson from Taken, and is happy to put that to use when given the chance. What, he was like a assassin? I thought you guys said you worked at a hospital. Calvin, my best friend for years. We used to work together, but unfortunately they have moved across the country to the East Coast, here in the States, recently. So their role is more of a supporting character. Hilarious and highly offensive to some people, mainly because Calvin believes in being straightforward and honest, and has no filter to speak of. Oh, so he's kind of a douchebag? Anyone who says, I just have no filter, I'm just brutally honest, they're usually just kind of being a dick. So, let's see how insufferable this Calvin can be. JJ, low-key, chill dude who tries to be friends with everyone. A friendly, nerdy Asian who loves woodworking, anime, D&D, and eating traditional Japanese food that his family has perfected over generations. Todd, the antagonist of our story, standing at 6'6", roughly 350 pounds, although mostly fat compared to Steve, who is pure muscle at that weight. Socially awkward, and to his credit, he acknowledges it but continues to do nothing to improve himself. Will always complain how no one will sleep with him, and talks about all the married women he's tried to lure away from their spouses by stating he's a nice guy who will treat them better. Terrible hygiene. His shoulders look like the Himalayas with the amount of dandruff that falls out of his greasy, unwashed hair. Constantly shows up to work with mysterious white stains on his shirt and pants and refuses to clean himself up to make himself look presentable. Ugh. He's covered in cum. Presumably. Riker. Named yourself Riker. That's okay. Me, OP. I am 6'1", around 240 pounds. Fairly good shape, but I do have some fat that likes to hang around my gut that refuses to go away no matter how much I work out, run, eat healthy, or cry about it. Aw, keep crying about it. Pretty nerdy, but I do have many other hobbies that seemingly make me pass for a normal, rounded out person. You can be nerdy and a normal, rounded out person. That's completely fine. To imply otherwise is kind of a dick move there, Riker. That's it for the cast of the first episode, but there are several other characters that I will introduce that hopefully you will either love or hate. I can honestly say that depending on your personality, they could either be viewed as likable or additional beards. Now, without further delay, our story. Alright, let's see what all these dude bros get up to. Scene 1, Act 1. This is the story of the time I met Todd, a large, rotund, self-proclaimed nice guy with questionable hygiene practices whose victim complex is so bad that they carry their problems like a trophy, always on display to remind everyone of how unfair life has been to them. Wah. I understand that, yes, many times life can be unfair, and if you don't have a good upbringing, life can be more difficult for some than others. But if most people grow out of the woe is me phase sometime around high school and college and bloom into beautiful, functioning members of society. Why did that sentence start with if, OP? Not Todd, though. Oh no, he bloomed physically, vertically, and horizontally, just not mentally or emotionally. He was built like a linebacker, but somehow forgot to join the team. Todd was large and imposing, but at the time I met him, the damage was done and seemed irreparable. There's nothing wrong with not being into sport ball. Like, I did 1 year of football in college, and then they made me choose, the football coach made me choose between football and band. And I like music, so I chose band. Sorry, Mr. Anderson. Now, I am by no means a small dude. I'm over 6 feet tall and mid-200s in weight. But Todd was different. Around 6'6" and close to 400 pounds. Big boy. This guy was imposing. I had the unfortunate responsibility of training Todd at our hospital. I've been there for a while after moving from the south to the beautiful west coast. I enjoy the natural beauty of where I live, and it reminds me of back home, just without the hurricanes or venomous wildlife that want to kill me. Now, I knew I was going to be getting a new employee on my shift this particular night, and I was excited to have my team staffed up. I was sitting at my desk when I heard one of my coworkers gag next to me and ask, "Do you smell that? Did you rip ass again?" Me, "No, not this time." Still engrossed in my work, typing up a report. "Oh my, that's a big boy. Holy shit, I think the smell is coming from him." I look up and see around 5 feet away my boss introducing what I can only assume as my trainee to a few people in my section. The boy was big, yeah, that's what I said, and looked like he was doing his best to cosplay as Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3, like put some dirt in your eye, Toby?
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Hopefully he wasn't doing the dance. Oh, when he was going through his emo phase, yeah. And a poor man's Peter Griffin from Family Guy. He had long, dark, greasy hair that came down over the right side of his face that he was continually flipping back and pushing back. Unfortunately, every time he moved his hair, I noticed a shower of white flakes descending gently onto his already white shoulders.
It's Christmas. Merry Crisis!
Me, whispering, "It smells like he mixed up his deodorant with a handful of garlic." Coworker, "It smells more like his deodorant went on strike and never came back." I burst out laughing, unable to keep it in. My boss looks over at me and smiles. I can tell that he's dying inside from the smell and is trying hard to be professional about it. "Hey, Riker, this is Todd, your new trainee." He immediately turned and sped away before I could respond. Me? "Nice to meet you, Todd. Glad to have you on board. I'm excited to get to know you." Todd, "Thanks." As he opened his mouth, I could smell that he didn't just rub the garlic on his body, he definitely ate it after he was done. "I'm super excited to be here." "Yeah, it's a good place to work." Did the boss go over anything about our dress code and hygiene standards? What's expected to make sure we look professional? Yeah, he did, but I wouldn't have a problem with that at all." Good. Where we work, it's particularly important to make sure that you do not make people sicker than they are, and that is our number one rule here. What I value more than most is to be clean and have a professional appearance. "How long have you been here for?" "About 3 years. I moved here after finishing schooling." "So you like it that much to stay?" "Yep. The pay and benefits are fairly good, so I can't complain." Todd, looking around at the staff around me working and then leaning in with a whisper, "I bet you've gotten some pretty good benefits from some of these girls." He smiles and winks at me. "I'm excited to get to know these pretty ladies better." As he says that, I see his eyes drift over to the different girls I'm working with and leering with disturbing hunger. Me, "No, I don't date in the workplace, and I highly recommend that you don't either. That is the fastest way to get the department's shit list if you start acting like this place is work Tinder." "Hey, I get it. There isn't anything wrong with being friendly, though." I stand up, lock my computer, and grab my training materials. "Okay, we are gonna go and get you started on your computer work." I grab his arm to get him to move as he's only half paying attention to me, still looking at the girls walking by. "I'm gonna set you up in the computer learning room down the hall so you can get this boring stuff out of the way first." I take him down the hall and get him up with the computer so he can start doing the online training that is required for all new hires. I walk him through how to get his logins and spend at least an hour with him to make sure he's up to speed on how the systems work. I start to get a little frustrated as he seems to have a hard time remembering even a simple task with how to navigate the computer. Now, I understand that people have hard times with technology. I am more than happy to help. But this kid is around 19 years old and is acting like he's only been in front of a computer a handful of times. You know why he's been in front of a computer. And it does involve a handful of something. Me, "Are you doing alright? You seem distracted and are struggling with this." Sorry, I keep thinking back to all those pretty girls I saw out there, and it just makes me excited to get to know them better." "Okay, stop thinking about them and focus on what I'm telling you, okay?" "Okay, I'll try, but it's hard. Also, I am hungry because I haven't eaten anything in like 2 hours. Can I get a snack?" 2 hours is not that long to go without food, man. Like, you should be able to go at least 2 hours. Unless you're like hypoglycemic or some shit like that, you should be able to go 2 hours without a snack. Especially if you're going to be working in nursing, they can work like 12-hour shifts. And you might not get a snack. Me, "I'll grab you a sandwich and a Coke from our break room. Any questions before I get it?" "No, I'm just really hungry, so if you could be fast about getting it, that would be awesome." Dude, it's your first day. Don't be making demands like that. I feel myself start to get angry, and I slowly take a few deep breaths and turn to walk out the door without saying anything. I go down our hall and make it to our department break room and grab a sandwich and a Coke for Todd. I grab some food for myself and eat, wanting to make him wait longer for his precious food that he could very obviously go without. A few minutes go by and Steve, one of my friends from the team, comes walking in. Now, he's about the same size as Todd, but instead of the fat that Todd has, Steve is built like a freaking tank. A good-natured Aussie who has a wicked sense of humor that is so inappropriate he can make a lobster blush. He is truly the best of us. So I think we're about to get some like dude bro humor. So if it's a little inappropriate, forgive me, or forgive OP, I guess. Like there is locker room humor that guys share, but it's not appropriate for most settings. But we'll see how bad it gets. G'day, mate. Sorry, Steve. Hey, I heard you were training the new guy. Yeah, I really wish I wasn't training him. He smells like garlic and is more perverted than Mr. Herbert.
And you need to come on down to the cellar.
No fucking way. That's why the hole smells like garlic? Does it still smell out there? We've been in the computer room for the last 45 minutes. Oh, that explains it. He starts laughing. I've walked up and down that hallway like 4 times, and each time I go by, I smell garlic by that door. Forgive my terrible Aussie accent. Me? Fuck me. If that's an offer, don't tempt me with a good time. I'll spit roast you like we do in Australia. You're one person, Steve. How are you gonna spit roast him? Me? I don't even know what to say to that. Oh, don't worry, you'll enjoy it. You won't be able to walk for a week straight, but it'll be worth it. I don't know if I should be turned on or scared right now. A little bit of both.
You the kind of sap I like. I'm scared.
Like, haha, so funny. Just then, one of our coworkers comes into the break room and tells me that my trainee is out in the hall talking to nurses as they try to take care of patients. I want to meet him. No, you don't. Steven and I then leave the break room and head back across the floor to find Todd hovering around a pretty blonde nurse who looks pretty pissed off. I'm just saying, we could get some dinner and get to know each other a little better. Dude, no. Thank you for the offer, but like I said, my boyfriend wouldn't be cool with us hanging out even as friends. He doesn't need to worry about me doing anything. I'm a nice guy. I like being friendly, and I think it would be fun to get to know you. Me? Todd, what are you doing? Why aren't you on your computer training? I got distracted with Nurse here when she came walking into the room looking for something. We started talking and I came out here so she wouldn't be lonely. I can see from behind him the nurse peeks her head around and shake it vigorously back and forth, making a cutting gesture across her neck while mouthing no. I internally groan as I know there's a good chance of her complaining about him to management if I don't get him away from her fast. Maybe she should, because if he can't focus for less than an hour without getting distracted, then he probably can't work there. Me. Okay, well, let's get back to it. The nurse is busy, and we can't have you distracting her while she's doing her job. Good point. He turns back to her. Well, think about it. Boyfriend or no boyfriend, I'll treat you nice and proper when we hang. I don't think she wants to, Todd. I grab him by the arm and pull him away. Dude, you have to be careful here. You don't want to rub the girls here the wrong way. They are trying to do a job and don't want to be hit on by their coworkers. I wasn't flirting. I was just trying to be nice and getting to know her. I'm a good guy and I like to be friendly. Okay, but right now we need to get back to work. I look around to see where Steve is, since he said he wanted to meet Todd. I don't see him anywhere and silently curse him under my breath. Oh yeah, Steve bailed. He took one look at this friggin' ham planet and just bailed. I bring Todd back to the computer room, which has at this point a very strong garlic smell, and start helping him finish up the last of his computer training for the day. The door opens and one of the other trainers on the team walks in and lets me know that they are going to take over for a little while as I need to finish up some of my other work before the end of the shift. I thank them for the break and walk out of the door and take a deep breath of the almost garlic-free air and start considering quitting. I mean, I don't blame you for considering quitting, but I don't think this boy is going to last too long if he continues this behavior, so just hold tight there, bud. Riker. We'll stop at this point, as there are many more stories to go about Todd. I don't want to make this too terribly long. I will try to update with the next part as soon as I can. Yeah, hopefully things get better with this Todd guy, or he just leaves, because in a hospital environment, you can't have someone bringing more germs and filth into that environment, because like OP said, that's going to make people more sick. And if you're walking around with freaking coom stains all over your shirt and pants, you shouldn't have even gotten hired, bro. Like, dandruff is one thing. Like, people get dandruff, and that's kind of unavoidable. Like, get some Head and Shoulders to fix that up. But yeah, don't rub one out and then wear those clothes out. That's, especially if it gets on you. I don't understand how that happens. How they get it all over themselves and are completely unaware. Just don't be gross. And take a shower. If you smell like garlic, take a shower. He probably is completely nose blind at this point. Or they try and cover it up with cologne instead of just taking a shower. Like, dude, literally stand there, let the hot water run over you, rub some soap on your body. It actually feels really good to most people. I know some people really don't like taking showers, which I just do not understand. But even if you don't like taking showers, it's something that everyone has to do at least once a day, because we live in a society. I know that's so cliche to say, but like, it's expected. You're expected to not fucking stink. We're not living in caves anymore, or like medieval times when they thought the hot water would open your pores and the devil would get in. What? So yeah, take a shower, brush your teeth, and if you eat a lot of garlic, I mean, good for you. Garlic's really good for you, but you got to be aware that you might be a stinky boy, and you might have stinky breath. So I don't know, carry some Listerine strips in your backpack or something. I don't know. If you're at work, you're there to work, and the other nurses are also there to work. They have patients who rely on them for their health and their well-being, and you can't be there distracting them and not hitting on them while they're trying to work. Especially if they tell you that they have a boyfriend, which is clearly their way of saying, fuck off, I don't want to talk to you. But then again, nice guys don't ever get hints like that. They just see it as like an obstacle to overcome, and oh, I can treat you better than your boyfriend. You don't know that. You know nothing about this person. You know nothing about their partner. They could be the nicest partner in the whole world, and you thinking that you can steal them away makes you a bad person. You are not a nice guy. You are in fact a dick. So that's all I got to say about this part of the story. He does say there's going to be more, so I'll look into that, and if there are parts 2 or 3, then we can take a look at those. But for now, that's going to be it for myself and for Bartholomew. I hope you guys enjoyed the cringy story. And if you want to hear more stories, like and subscribe, and stick around till next time. If you want to come hang out with me on my midnight walks, I try and do those every day or every other day. And it would be great to have you along for the ride. But until then, drink some water, do some push-ups, stay safe till next time.